Hi, 6th grade. Today we're going to go over how to find the information for each of your sources. I'm going to skip the book because I believe you are able to do that. Those of you who are in class have a photocopy of the chapter you need, and you have the cover and information that goes along with this. Those of you who are using the online PDF, those pages are also included. So if you run into any trouble finding this information, you can message me and I will help you. But this is something you should be really able to do. We're going to do the websites and I'll help you fill out the information. So I'm going to start with the first website that I've listed as a credible source. So here it is, Dallas Symphony Orchestra. All right. So when we look at our sources, we need to have an author's last name, first name, page title, website title, publisher, date published, and date accessed. So we're going to take a look at Dallas Symphony Orchestra. We know that that is going to be our page. So the name of the website is DSO Kids. So I'm going to go back to my document, and for my website title, I'm going to type in DSO Kids. Now, let's go back and see if we can find some of the other information. What page are we on? Well, the one I sent you to is the instruments. If you want to be more specific, you can go by which instrument you'll be looking at. But for right now, I'm going to put it down as instruments. So I'm going to go back to my document, and my page title is going to be instruments. All right. Now I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of this page to try and locate our author and publisher. And we're going to assume that Jen Guzman, who is the Director of Education, is one of the authors. So we're going to use her name. Guzman for last name, Jen for first. So here's our last name and her first name, Jen. All right, now we need the publisher. So we're going to go back to our website. And the publisher is usually whoever sponsors the website. So we're going to take a look here. And it looks like right here it is published by Dallas Symphony Orchestra, and the year is 2020 for publication. So let's go back. I'm going to type in Dallas Symphony Orchestra. Oops. And publication is 2020. Now, the date accessed is going to be whatever day you went to that website. So if you went there more than once, say you went there yesterday, you would put yesterday's date. And then you could put today's date. All right. Okay, so that's for the Dallas Symphony Orchestra. What I would suggest is also including the URL, which is this right here. And you can just click on that. And then if you use 2 fingers on your trackpad, this should come up and you're going to copy. And then underneath there, you're going to 2 fingers, paste. And now you have all of the information you need for that source. All right, the second website that I shared with you was Classics for Kids. So let's go to that website. We know that the website title is Classics for Kids, and we can type that in. We're going to look to see what the page title is that you're looking at. And it looks like the page title is Instruments of the Orchestra. So I'm going to go back to my document and type in Instruments of the Orchestra. Now we're going to try and look for the author and publisher. So let's go back. And as we scroll through the page, I don't see any author listed here. So we can leave that without a name. But we can find the publishers. So it's the Charles H. Dater Foundation and Naxos. So let's go back to our document, and our publisher is the Charles H. Dater Foundation And then I'll put a semicolon because, or we can put and. Next. All right. For our author's last name, we're going to put N-A, meaning it hasn't been found. Okay. And for our date, it looks like it's been published in 2020. So we're going to go back to our document, date published. Now again, the date accessed is going to be whenever you accessed it, either yesterday, today, tomorrow. So you'll put whatever date works for you. All right. And I'm going to do the last website that I included. It's called Philharmonia, in case any of you use that. So our website is called Philharmonia. And I'm going to go back to my document, to my website title for source 4, Philharmonia. And the page title is going to be Instruments. Type that in. Make sure it's capitalized. All right. We're going to look for an author. So I'm going to scroll down. And I think the way that this will work for an author is each of the instruments. So you would have to choose your instrument. It's going to be different for each of you. I'm going to go to violin. And when we look at violin, we have a person who is going to play. So I'm going to take that first name, see if it'll copy over for us. Yep, it did. And I'll go over here and I'll copy his last name. And we're going to assume that he wrote this because he's the one showing this. We're going to look for the publisher now. All right, so let's scroll down and see who might have published our pages. And it looks like it's supported by all of these right here. We're going to choose the Arts Council England as our main publisher. Okay, so let's go to the document and we're going to type in Arts Council England. And then for the date published, let's take a look. Looks like it's also in the year 2020. And then you would put your date accessed as either yesterday, today, or tomorrow, whenever you decide to use this. Now, if you are Googling a photo for your instrument, when you do that, you'll have to include the information for that as well. You don't want to forget to put your URL underneath each of the websites, and you just do that by copying. So for example, if I was doing the violin for Philharmonia, I would copy this, and then I would go back to my document, and at the end, under date accessed, I'm going to include my URL. Okay? So that's the basics on how to get your information for your websites. If you're using any of these, I've already pretty much found everything for you. You're welcome to use this video to fill out your source information. Each of these items for your source information is worth a point. So anything you leave blank, you will lose a point off of your note-taking sheets. All right, so that is how to record your website information in the sources section of your note-taking sheets. Make sure you have that finished.